Hey everybody, it's Whatever Wednesday. I'm Greg, he's Ben, and today we have, wait for it, go.
Oh, am I putting the title right here, or am I putting what we have?
It should like burst out of nothingness.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully that worked out.
All right, so bring it on in.
Okay, so for Whatever Wednesday, we've got, bam, this is the Dalmore, aged 12 years. So we're gonna rock a little scotch today.
This is a blended scotch from Scotland.
From the Scotland. Dalmore is a fairly, kind of a premium brand, isn't it?
I honestly,
as far as I know.
I'm not gonna pretend to know a lot about, you should probably,
It's just,
I don't know very much about scotch. I know that this is blended as opposed to a single malt.
right.
Which single malt is
Aged 12 years, used casks.
used casks, and they use bourbon casks. And then some of this was actually like double oaked into like Oloroso sherry casks.
Okay.
So a little bit of a blend, a little bit of wine hint.
Oh, wow. That's, so right off the bat, typically with scotches, we are not scotch experts, but I have a hard time really picking apart different scotches. Like, they kind of blend together for me. Like, I just don't have enough experience maybe with them, but we've had some before where we've said, you know, for the specs on this and for how expensive it is, I feel like it's not very interesting and there should be more going on. A lot of scotches are at that lower proof point. This one's 80.
So I think that some of it's our inexperience with scotch. That totally plays a part in our inability to do a proper review. But single malt or malted barley is an interesting grain, but not that interesting. You know what I mean?
In
Just
my
by
opinion,
itself,
yeah, as well. It's
like,
I just don't find scotches to be very,
yeah, and then it's a
complex
used
and
cask. I mean, they were bourbon casks, so that it has that going for it. But I haven't smelled it yet, and I certainly haven't tasted it yet. But I think, you know, it's really hard. You know, I guess if you're used to it and you like scotch, then you know, knock yourself out. But
well, the reason I brought that up is because on that very first sniff, this definitely has something different than the other scotches I've had
okay,
before.
so it's maybe has some bourbon influence from the bourbon barrels, wine influence from the sherry Oloroso sherry casks. So
Yeah, there's definitely a grape element there.
oh wow, in fact I would have thought this is a cognac.
Yeah, it kind of has a vibe like that.
It really does. Wow, richness and like a almost a conquered grape, kind of grape jelly-ish. Not quite like aged fermented conquered grape, I guess.
Sure. It has some of that kind of apple and pear that you and I tend to get on a single malt product, or a malted barley product, I should say. This is not a single malt.
Yep.
But yeah, there is actually other layers of stuff going
And
on
honey.
here.
Definite honey.
Oh yeah, now that you mention it.
And almost orange.
Maybe that's what I was trying to pull out of there that I just couldn't. There was something here that I couldn't put my
It's
finger
also
on.
orange, like citrusy. So I'm going for it.
All right, let's do it. Cheers.
Done enough work. I think all of those flavors we just mentioned, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good.
I will say, out of all of the scotches I've had, I think I like this one the best. You know, this one has it's a regular single malted profile with a little bit of stank on it, in a good way.
So here's my conundrum.
There's a drying aftertaste.
Yes, it's very dry.
Yeah.
Almost like a apple cider.
And I'm getting
on the
kind of
finish.
but then after a while though, like the aftertaste that it's leaving is almost like a raisin. And very raisiny. Like the smell of raisins.
So grapey notes.
Well, yeah,
But
just a withered away grape.
I mean, this to be honest, to me, it drinks a little bit like a cognac, and I realize it's not a cognac, but it's very cognac-esque-ish. It's gone cognac. How about that?
Yeah. So this one, what I'm finding is that having, you know, these extra kind of darker, grapey, I'm definitely getting raisins.
Okay.
I mean, on the aftertaste is like total raisins.
I can see that.
And I don't like raisins, but I know what they taste like and smell like. And I don't mind, like there's a lot of flavors that I don't like in real life, like the actual thing. Like I hate bananas, but bourbons that typically have a banana note are some of my favorites.
That's strange.
Yeah, this has, so when we did that Macallan 15 year, it was a triple cask. That was bourbon cask, sherry cask, and something else.
Something else, yeah.
And it was like $150, and you know, that was the one where I said for everything going on in this bottle and how much it costs and the age of it, I feel like it should be more interesting than it is. And because it just tasted fairly basic to me. This one is not. This one has some extra stuff to it. And I like that because it's taking that malted barley profile that I'm not the world's biggest fan of, and it's kind of adding at least some more interesting layers to it that I'm into. Now, I don't know if I'd want to drink a bunch of these in the course of a night, but as far as scotches go, I mean, yeah, like I said at the beginning, I think I like this one the best.
So I think I agree basically with what you were just saying, but to add just a little bit more, I don't dislike malted barley, single malts, but I do get tired of them quick.
Yeah, they wear out their welcome fairly quick.
They really do. And so this, I would be interested in trying it, but just a basic scotch to compare it. Because, I mean, this one's obviously been finished in, you know, and it really comes across as very grapey. And
do you want to taste it compared to that Macallan? Because that's another one that's well aged.
No, but that one's also finished. Like so I had...
Well, they're all finished in some sort of used cask. I have a bourbon cask scotch that's just bourbon cask.
Yeah,
finished.
but I think again, it's almost like it's being saved by something else, like a flavoring. And I know it's a port cask or whatever. Like, I don't know, like, I don't dislike scotches. I just don't love them.
This one it's very dark in color.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, that's got to be from that, what did you say, sherry cask? Oloroso sherry, so that's a red.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's probably where it gets a color, because there's a lot of scotches that are aged in ex-bourbon casks.
Yep.
Even well-aged ones that don't have the
correct.
same level of color as that.
Yeah.
And the flavor profile has like a darkness to it and a richness to it that I really like. So I'm pretty impressed with this, actually. Do you happen to remember the price on this?
$65, I think, is kind of the standard for this.
Okay, that's not bad.
It's not bad for a 12-year whiskey.
Yeah.
But this is going to be, I like it, but it's going to be an occasional visit.
Sure.
Definitely.
All right, well, this has been the Dalmore 12-year on Whatever Wednesday on the Bourbon Note. I'm Ben.
I'm Greg. Thanks for watching. Share this video with a friend. Cheers.